Alright, so we're here again. We're going to do another tutorial about the Math 1100 portfolios. So this is actually the, at least if you're in my class, the 7th portfolio out of 8. Okay, now let's see here. I'm going to go to course content to see what we have going on here. Go to portfolios, and it's this one right here on page 227. From lesson 3-7. We actually just did this last week, so this should be pretty fresh on most of your minds. Okay, so I'm going to pull the ebook up and see what it says for us. Okay, so again, page 227. Now, what does it say? We're just doing Technology 1, which is nice. It says this refers to the problem in questions 3 through 11 of the application section of this lesson. Use your equations for the cost of buying diapers with Amazon Mom membership and the cost without the membership to complete the table shown in an Excel spreadsheet. Then graph the system of equations. Explain how the graph shows when it's worth joining Amazon Mom. Okay? Alright, there is a template, just like there has been for other portfolios. There's a template. If you go back to Blackboard, go to course content, go to additional course resources, let it load, go up here. What do we say? That was Unit 3, Lesson 7, I believe it was. Yeah, I think this is it. So download the template, open it up. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so remember you have to hit Enable Editing up here because it downloads, it's in a read-only state at first. So there we go, so now we can edit it. Now, here's a cool template. Let's see what it says up here. Use a formula to complete column B based on your equation for the cost of buying diapers with the Amazon Mom membership. Then use a formula to complete column C based on the cost of buying diapers without the membership. Okay, then graph these two costs based on the number of diapers bought on the same graph. Explain how the graph shows when it is worth joining Amazon Mom. Okay, so we can do that. I actually gave you guys this problem for a test review. In some of my classes, we actually got and worked. Had enough time and we're able to work through this problem on the test review. Other classes, we were a little more pressed for time, so we weren't able to actually do it in class. But we had that on your test review, so hopefully you've done it and you have figured out how to get the equations on paper. Now, the thing is, you have to translate those equations to Excel. But if you understand those equations, you won't have any problem in translating them into Excel. Okay, because by now you've had a pretty good bit of experience working with Excel. Okay, so I'm going to make a little bit of room over here. Actually, yeah, let me insert text box. So go to Insert, text box. And I'm just going to put a big text box over here. Okay, and let's make the font a little bigger. Let's just say size 15. Okay, so the cost, if I could type, with membership. If we did the, if you did the review assignment for your test that's coming up, we found that the cost with membership was y equals, okay, remember it's y equals mx plus b. So there is a cost, a membership cost of $79. So you have to take that into account when you're computing the overall cost of buying diapers with the membership, because you have to pay the $79. Now after that, you get a discount on the price per box. Now, the directions, let's see, if you go back to the ebook over here, let's go back. It says questions 3 through 11. Let's figure out. That's group. I think next page is applications, maybe. Yeah, here we are. So it says a box costs $46.99. That's the information we need. And if you scroll down here, it says that you get a discount if you join the Amazon Mom membership. So here's where it's talking about Amazon Mom. So there's actually another aspect here of another store, but we're not dealing with that. This portfolio is only dealing with Amazon regular price, which is $46.99 per box, and Amazon discounted price, which is a 20% discount if you pay the $79 per year membership. Okay, so $46.99 is the regular price. Now, if we're paying 80% of that, which is 20% off, we can say 0.80 times $46.99. That's the discounted price. And then X is the number of diapers. Let's do a capital X. Oh no, we did it lowercase y. We'll do lowercase x. So this right here, that is the discounted price. That says a 20% discount off $46.99 regular price. Because if you're paying 20%, if you're getting 20% off, what percent are you paying? You're paying 80%. So let's actually figure out what that number is right there. What is 80 times, excuse me, 0.8 times $46.99? And then I'll replace that. So let's see, $46.99 times 0.8 or 0.8 is $37.59. So let's replace this, make it look a little better. 37.59. Remember, this is dollars, so we round to the nearest cent in this instance. So here is the cost with membership. Now this is the equation you would get on paper if you were doing this. But now we need to translate this into something that Excel can work with. So we're looking at column B here. Okay, with column B, this is going to be the column with the cost of membership. So what we're going to do, and essentially think about column A, those are your inputs. Those are X values. So we want to figure out here, we want to figure out the cost when you buy 0 boxes of diapers. Here in cell B3, we want to find the cost when you buy 2 boxes of diapers. Down here in cell B8, we want to find the cost when you buy 12 boxes of diapers. Okay? So if we do this with cell references, remember we always start an equation off with an equal sign. So the cost with the membership when you buy 0 boxes should be $79 plus $37.59 times, now remember times is symbol, that's the operator for times, multiplication in Excel is an asterisk, so $37.59 times, well not 0, we want to make a cell reference, which 0 is in cell A2. A2. Now what would you expect this to equal when I hit enter? Well, if you go over here, if you buy 0 boxes of diapers, that term is going to turn to 0, because $37.59 times 0 is 0, leaving us with just y equals 79. So the cost when you buy 0 boxes of diapers is still $79 because you still have to pay for the membership whether or not you bought diapers. So hit enter, and that works out. Okay? Now, we want to do the exact same thing, except now we're interested when you buy 2 boxes of diapers. So now our equation is going to be equals, again, always an equal sign, 79 plus 37.59 times, okay, what cell is 2 in? It's in A3. Column A, row 3. So A3. Okay? And so that right there is equal to 79 plus 2 times 37.59. And of course you can use your calculator to check that to make sure you typed it in right. Now, just like before, we could certainly type this formula over and over again, referencing cell A4 here, A5 there, A6, A7, and A8. But we want to save a few minutes of time, and all you have to do is copy this formula out of either cell B2 or B3, and then paste it to the rest of the cells. And Excel automatically knows we're going to use essentially this equation over here. We're going to plug in for X whatever cell is directly to the left of where we're typing. So here, notice in cell B8, Excel automatically knew that I wanted to take 12, which is located in cell A8, and plug it into my formula. So now I've successfully inputted the formulas for column B. This is the cost of buying 0 through 12 boxes of diapers with the membership. Now, the cost without membership is a little easier. Let's go back over here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There. Okay, cost. Oh, I want my big font to go. Let's see, I had 15. Yeah, there we go. Cost without membership. Okay. Now again, remember y equals mx plus b here. So we're going to do y equals, now how much additional do we pay for each box of diapers? Now this is regular price without a membership. Now I think if we go back to our ebook over here, we saw that the regular price was $46.99 on Amazon. So now we're talking about without the discounts, we're paying $46.99 per box. So if we buy X number of boxes, the equation is going to be $46.99X. Okay. For the cost with membership, we had to pay $79. It's essentially a flat fee, a membership fee of $79 plus $37.59, a discounted price times the number of boxes we buy. For the cost without membership, it's a much easier equation. All you have to do is take the number of boxes you buy, which we're letting that be represented by X, and multiply it by the cost of each box, which is $46.99. Okay? So now we need to translate this formula into Excel. So again, with Excel, you don't type y equals anything because that's just the syntax that Excel gives us. We have to type just like we've been doing, an equal sign always first, and then we want to type 46.99 times, which is an asterisk, 0. But again, we don't want to type the number 0. We want to reference the cell that 0 lives in. 0 lives in cell A2. A2. Now, what would you expect the cost to be if you're not on the membership and you buy 0 boxes of diapers? Well, I would expect the cost to be 0 because you're not buying anything and you don't have to pay for the membership. And if you hit enter, you find that's the case. Now, just like before, we can actually copy and paste that formula because Excel, what Excel is going to do is take whatever input, whatever cell is to the left over here in column A, directly to the left in column A, and use that and multiply by 46.99. So if I copy this, now the way you can select multiple cells at once, like between two endpoints, is to select one point, hold the shift key down, and select another point. That's going to select every cell between those two endpoints. And now you can paste it at one time. You see there? Excel automatically filled in the formulas correctly. Now it's always useful to double check to make sure that's the case. But here we have equals 46.99 times 6, well, times cell A5, which is what we wanted to happen. Okay. Same thing here. We wanted to take 46.99, multiply by 12, which is in cell A8, and it looks like that worked out just perfectly. So now looking at this table, we see the cost with the membership is initially more expensive. I mean, you can just look at when you buy 0 diapers. You still have to pay $79. When you buy 2 boxes, still much more expensive. For 2 boxes with the membership, you're paying over $154. You're only paying $93, well, approximately $94 without the membership. And that trend continues. Now let's get a little higher here. When you buy 8 boxes of diapers, you're paying over $379 with the membership. Without the membership, you're still paying less, $375, well, about $376. But then what happens when you buy 10 boxes? When you buy 10 boxes with membership, your cost is about $455, whereas the cost without the membership is about $470. So now, at 10 boxes, it's cheaper to be a member, to pay the fee, but to get a discount. Now look at 12 boxes. I think that trend continues. At 12 boxes, it's a little over $530, but nearly $564 without the membership. So it looks like we can conclude that, let's see, below, at 8 boxes and below, the non-membership cost is cheaper. But then at 10 boxes and above, the membership cost is cheaper. Now, we are missing X values here. Here, the directions just had us count by 2s. So somewhere in between 8 and 10, there's an equal cost. Okay? Now we can maybe get a better idea of that, where that equal point is, by graphing these lines. In fact, if you were in my class where we went over this problem, I think we found that the exact answer was 8.4. Now, of course, you can't buy 8.4 boxes of diapers, but that means below 8.4, so 8 and below, the non-membership was cheaper, and then anything above 8.4, the membership cost was cheaper. So that would be 9 and above. Now let's graph this. Now we actually have had a couple portfolios deal with graphing, so let's just move this out of the way. And let's remember how to graph. Now, remember, to graph in Excel, you need to select your data first. So if I select one corner of my data right here, hold the Shift key down, and select the other corner of my data, that selects all these points. Now I want to graph those using a line graph. So Insert, go to Line Graph, and I think this one with markers will do well. Insert. Okay? So there is my graph. Now, the one thing, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'll show you something else. So notice, well, let's hit redo. Notice how it doesn't label my lines? That's kind of annoying. It would take a few minutes to go and rename those. But watch what I do. If I select all of it, including these labels, watch what happens when I insert that same line graph. Oh, it labeled them for me. So I know the red line is the cost without, and the blue line is the cost with. Now, the only problem with this graph, and it's kind of annoying just because of how the problem is set up, is that look at the horizontal axis here, the x-axis. Here, we're counting by 1s when we want to count by 2s. Okay? So we need to count by 2s. Now, if you're not super familiar with Excel, it's not hard to do, but let's just see. Now, your version might be a little different than mine, but I think if you click on those numbers, that is, click on the numbers that label your horizontal axis, then right-click. Oh, I lost it. Right-click and go to, let's see, select data. That's it. Select data. And go to the horizontal axis over here and hit edit. Okay? then you can select the cells that you want to be on the horizontal axis. And I want to select these numbers right here. So I'll select 0, then hold the Shift key down and click 12. And hit OK. Hit OK. And look what happened. Okay? It changed my axis here, the horizontal axis, to count by twos. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay? Now, let's see here. I wish I could zoom in a little bit. You can see here that right above 8 is where those lines cross. And again, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, the equal point was 8.4 boxes. But again, you can't buy 8.4 boxes. So anything less, the red line is lower. Now remember, cost, let's go ahead and label this. Chart title, let's say, oh, let's not do that one. Let's delete that. Let's see, chart title, let's put it above the chart, yes. Okay, let's call this cost comparison of diapers. Nope, I can't spell diapers. Okay. And of course, anything. Just make sure your title makes sense there. We always need to label our axes. So let's go up here, axes titles. Let's turn those on. Now the horizontal axis, that represents the number of boxes purchased. Okay. Now let's go up here and turn the the vertical axis. Yeah, like that. Now this is kind of hard to type when it's vertical, but let's see here. Now, what does the vertical axis represent? That represents how much money you spend, so cost. And we can say cost in dollars. Sure, that's always nice. Okay, so now what does this graph mean when we're trying to interpret it? The red line is the cost with membership. Since the height of the lines represents cost, then if the red line is below the blue line to start with, that means that the cost without the membership is lower to start with. Then, when you get to about 8, the two costs are equal. Then after that point, the red line is above the blue line, which means the cost of the red line, which is the cost without membership, is higher than the blue line, the cost of the with membership cost. Okay, so again, this right here shows us nicely that up to 8 boxes of diapers, the without membership is the better deal. So it's paying full price, but you don't have to pay the yearly fee. That's the better deal. But once you pass 8 boxes, 8.4 specifically, but in reality that means 9 boxes and beyond. If you're planning on buying at least 9 boxes, it's better to go ahead and pay the yearly fee of $79 and then get the discounted price. So it all depends on how much you're planning on buying. Okay? Now, I'm not going to type what I just said, but your job is to summarize kind of the conclusion I just made that you're going to make as well, that we probably already talked about depending on which class you're in, and talk about that in one of these text boxes. Okay? Make your conclusion about when it would be better to be a member, when it would be better to not be a member. What range of diapers could you buy in each scenario, and what would be the cheapest? That kind of thing. Okay? So that's the one final thing you'll have to do in this portfolio. And just again, delete some of this text here and type your conclusions here. So conclusions go here. Or if you wanted to, you can type them there. Then of course, remember to name your file correctly. So go over here, File, Save As. Again, the templates are always going to be labeled according to how the publisher did it, but that's not how you need to name your file. So go over here and save it as last name underscore first name underscore page number. I don't remember what this page number was, so let me go back to the ebook. This is on page, that's with applications. The portfolio is on page 227, right there. So page 227. Okay. Alright, that's it. Again, if you need any help, you can always email me or stop by my office. But this should allow you to pretty much get it done. But if you have any more questions, don't be embarrassed. Don't hesitate to ask. Just ask me before or after class, or swing by my office and we'll clear up any question you have. Alright, hope this has been helpful. See you soon.